It's Saturday, and you know what that means. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Stan Hansen Saturday. This is episode number 25, and this week, a recap of Stan Hansen versus Antonio Inoki in New Japan's MSG Series Tournament Final from June 7th, 1979, from Tokyo, Japan. Stan Hansen is accompanied by Freddie Blassie for this match. He points over at Inoki before the match starts. Referee tries to keep Hansen from charging at Inoki. He checks Hansen for weapons. Hansen and Inoki tangle up before the bell rings. Once the bell rings, they lock up. Hansen quickly shoves Inoki away. Inoki grabs hold of Hansen in a headlock. Hansen reaches for the ropes to break the hold, but Inoki lays in a forearm as they break away. Hansen gets in an elbow and a knee at Inoki, and they yell at each other. They size each other up again for a bit before locking up again. Hansen slams Inoki and misses an elbow. Inoki catches him with a drop kick. That's then followed by a wrist lock by Hansen and into an armbar. Big forearm across Inoki's back. They head over to the ropes, and Hansen uses the top rope to work on Inoki's right arm. Inoki drops to the mat, and Hansen stomps on him until Inoki rolls to the outside. Inoki gets back in the ring, but Hansen kicks at him and gets him in an armbar again. Inoki kicks at Hansen and knocks him down to the mat. Front face lock by Inoki. Hansen escapes, picks up Inoki and places him on the top turnbuckle, and follows with some hard forearms that knock Inoki down. He uses his knee across Inoki's neck for a bit before getting him in a chin lock. Inoki escapes with an arm drag. Hansen's back up on attack as he lays in some more forearms and punches, but Inoki fights back and gets him in the octopus. Hansen is quickly able to break free and stomps again on Inoki. Hansen continues on offense and gets Inoki on the ropes, where he chokes him with the top rope and keeps him on there to lay in some forearms and elbows. Inoki drops it to the mat, and Hansen continues to stomp on him. He picks Inoki up and slams him into the top turnbuckle. Inoki then escapes Hansen's grasp. That leads to Inoki going for some headbutts and chops on Hansen. He follows with a body slam on Hansen and gets a 2 count. Hansen counters with some more punches and whips him into the corner and gets Inoki with the lariat. He gets a 2 count. Hansen stomps on Inoki and slams him, follows with an elbow, and again only gets a 2 count. Pile driver by Hansen, and he gets another 2 count. Crowd applauds. Hansen continues to punish Inoki. Fans start to chant Inoki's name. Big elbow across Inoki's head. More kicks and punches, and Hansen teases going for a pin, but picks Inoki back up. He whips Inoki into the ropes and motions for the lariat, but Inoki catches him with a flying body attack. Inoki follows with a drop kick and a slam. Inoki climbs to the top rope and jumps at Hansen, who got up, but Inoki lands on him and covers him for the pin. Inoki wins. Inoki heads to the outside and motions to the crowd that he got a 3 count that he seems a bit surprised with. Hansen howls as he leaves the ring. Inoki returns and lets out a celebratory scream. Inoki receives all the awards for his victory and does a post-match interview. I thought this match was good. Hansen was pretty dominant throughout the match, and Inoki had some good comebacks. The surprise finish was pretty cool, since Inoki even played it off like he was surprised that he even got the win. Like I said, this was actually a short match compared to some of the previous matches that they had. I think we did one recap of one of the very first Inoki matches, and that one went a little longer. I thought that one was also a little bit better. This one being more of a tournament match, I think they kind of wanted to just get to this a little bit sooner, to get to the result a little sooner. They kept Hansen still very strong in this. The way it ended, it being more of a surprise, you could kind of tell that they wanted to make sure, they wanted to bring Hansen back as, a strong foreigner and a strong opponent for Inoki, and they did a good job of doing that, and they kept Inoki strong as well as with him getting a big win. I thought the best part in this was really when Inoki went for the octopus, and how quickly Hansen broke out of that hold. Also, when Hansen hit the lariat later on in the match, you kind of thought that was going to be the end of it, but they were too close to the ropes where it was impossible for Hansen to get the full pin pin attempt on Inoki. The pile driver spot also was pretty cool. Hansen was going in for some big moves late in the match, and for Inoki just to win the match. I think that's what kind of made it look a little bit more surprising, was that it just came out of nowhere, because you didn't really think him going off the top rope. I think he was going for something else, but Hansen moved back up and ended up being a body press that got him the win. So overall, I thought this was a good match. There's so many Inoki Hansen matches from the 70s, early 80s that a few of them aren't quite at the level of what would be the main ones, but they're all pretty good. I thought they were all pretty good, and Inoki's a very good opponent to have, just because the crowd is so in favor of him, and because of him being a huge superstar, and Hansen is such a great heel. Also kind of cool to see Freddie Blassie. I think Freddie Blassie handled the managerial role for most of the heels on that tour that year, so you see him quite a bit in other matches, accompanying other foreigners. So I thought that was kind of cool to see him accompany Stan Hansen, who he was managing whenever Hansen was in WWE or WWF at that time. Be sure to click the like button and subscribe to the Retro Wrestling YouTube channel. We truly appreciate that. And remember, every Saturday we celebrate by recapping a Stan Hansen match. So long.